Magic, white and black, the science of finite and infinite life. The highest state of spiritual consciousness is the full and complete realization of divine truth. Even while physical consciousness is active, the consciousness of the higher principles may be so exalted as to render the body little conscious of pain. History speaks of men and women whose souls rejoiced while their earthly tabernacles were undergoing the tortures of the rack or were devoured by flames at the stake. Man leads essentially two lives, one while he is fully awake, another while he is fully asleep. Each has its own perceptions, consciousness, and experiences. But the experiences of that state, called deep sleep, are not remembered when we are fully awake. At the borderland between sleep and waking, where the impressions of each state meet and mingle, is the realm of confused dreams, which are usually remembered and seldom contain any truth. This state is, however, favorable to receive impressions from the higher self, or to see the pictures existing in the astral light. In the former case, the higher self may use symbolical forms and allegorical images to convey ideas to the lower self and to give it admonitions, forebodings, and warnings in regard to future events. In the latter case, faces and forms of persons that previously occupied the room of the sleeper may be seen, or his mind may wander to scenes to which he is unconsciously attracted. There are, however, various kinds of dreams, and it would be wrong to deny that some of them may not be useful. The higher self may make use of the impressibility of the lower self during the time of half-conscious slumber to impress it with useful visions and warn it of danger, and to teach it lessons which the lower self would not be able to understand while his physical senses are fully active and the voice of intuition drowned in the noise of the struggle produced by the contending emotions. Many a difficult problem has been solved during sleep, and the terrestrial world is not always without any reflex of the light from above. The mind of the sleeper during the sleep of the body may come into contact with other minds and pass through experiences which he does not remember when he awakes. Man, in his waking condition, often has experiences which he afterwards does not remember, but which he nevertheless enjoyed at the time when they occurred, and which at that time were real to him. A mixture of the various states of sensations and perceptions produces the normal consciousness of man. Man feels in himself at least two sets of attractions that come to his consciousness, the earthly and the fiery elements. One set drags him down to earth and makes him cling with a firm grasp to material necessities and enjoyments. The other set, lifting him up into the region of the unknown, makes him forget the allurements of matter and by bringing him nearer to the realm of abstract ideas of the good, the true, and the beautiful, gives him satisfaction and happiness. The greatest poets and philosophers have recognized this fact of double consciousness, or the two poles of one, and between those two poles ebbs and floods the normal consciousness of the average human being. Goethe expresses this in his Faust in about the following terms. Two souls, alas, are conscious in my breast, each from the other tries to separate. One clings to earth attracted by desire, the other rises upward, etc. One attraction arises from spirit, another from matter. By the power of reason, man is enabled to choose which way he will follow, and by the power of his will he is enabled to follow his choice. He may concentrate his consciousness entirely on the lower plane and, sinking into sensuality, become entirely unconscious of the existence of higher aspirations, or he may live entirely in the higher planes of thought and feeling, grow to realize fully the beauties, realities, and truths of the spirit, and become dead to the attractions of matter. A self-centered and narrow-minded man may have his consciousness narrowed down to a small sphere. A great and liberal mind may expand it without any limits, until the whole of space will appear to him to be filled with his own consciousness, and his power of perception will enable him to penetrate all the mysteries in nature. Few may be able to reach such a state, and few will be able to comprehend its possibility. But there have been men who, on the threshold of nirvana, were able to concentrate the powers of their minds in centers beyond the attraction of earth, and while their physical bodies continued to live on this planet, the divine self, leaving its human form, could consciously roam through the interplanetary spaces and see the wonders of the material and spiritual worlds. This is the highest form of adeptship attainable on earth, and to him who accomplishes it, the mysteries of the universe will be like an open book. Every man and woman, however, can feel within their souls the presence of the Divine Spirit, even if they cannot yet see its light. This is the beginning of that true spiritual consciousness to which we should cling at all times, and which finds its expression in the adoration of the highest good. Still, such states are yet far from spiritual self-consciousness, which is a full realization of individual existence within the spiritual realm, and as such is known only to few. Even the most devout worshipper, as long as the Divine Spirit has not awakened within his soul, will merely feel the beauties of the spiritual realm in the same sense as a blind man may enjoy the warm rays of the sunshine without being able to see the light. Only when the process of spiritual regeneration has fairly begun will he be able to see the Sun of Glory within his own soul, and the elusive self-consciousness of his former state, which caused him to believe that he was a permanent being, will be transformed into that real self-conscious state in which he becomes self-luminous in the light of the truth, a state in which man actually knows that he exists as an eternal, self-existent and immortal power in God.